We were the first sloka of the 15th chapter, which is as follows: Yatha tato padeshena yatartha sattva buddhiman ahajivava vidijnasu varatatra vimushyati. He is comparing between two types of people. First is the one whose mind is full of light and harmony, the one who has graduated himself to that level where the Sattva Guna predominates. All the three gunas, the entire body is made up of three building materials which influence the characteristics of each body. And they are the three types of modes. I don't like to call it as qualities. It's not a quality, it's a mode. It is the very constituent of our body and mind. So the Tamoguna is one who is full of laziness, who is too lazy to move. The second one is Rajoguna, who is very active, and consequently who is subject to anger, greed, and desires, and all that. So the person who is full of Sattva Guna, and there also it is not everybody, it's only a few whose Sattva Guna is almost 100%, nearing 99%, the rest might be made up of the other two. Till a man crosses all the three and transcends all the three gunas, he is called the Guna-Gita, and he becomes a Jivan-Gita. And the Sattva Guna person, he is almost very fit for being promoted to the post of a Jivan-Gita. He is extremely fit. He is almost on the way. For him, any casual instruction will do. He is just like a dry stick which gets ignited just by the touch of a matchstick. He is just like a dry wood. Yathatatopadeshena, by any casual instruction, whatever it is, a person who is Yathatatopadeshena, Upadeshena means instructions. Yathatata by casual, by any means, by any casual instruction. Sattva buddhima, a man whose intellect is full of Sattva Guna, Kritarthaha, he is able to accomplish all the purpose of his life. After all, we are all born. There should be some purpose behind it. Otherwise, God need not have given us an intellect. We would have been just like the animals. The animals bother about their food. They also sleep like us. So in most of the matters they are common. They are got all common characteristics. So in what way are we supposed to use the intellect? Only for getting food for yourself and your family. Without that intellect, an animal is able to do that. No, it is meant for a bigger purpose. The purpose is to know who you are. To know who I am, that's the biggest of the purposes. So that person, just even by a casual instruction, is able to reach that state. On the contrary, a person whose mind has got a preponderance of Tamoguna, a preponderance of Rajoguna, who is too lazy or too active. Such a person, he could be an aspirant, he could be a sadhaka, he also wants to reach the ultimate state of self-realization, to reach the absolute. But let him try throughout his life, he will not be able to reach unless his intellect gets purified and becomes completely infused with Sattva Guna. Otherwise, no amount of instructions from the best of the Gurus in the world will affect any change in such a person who has been basically not been able to get out of the preponderance of either Tamoguna or Rajoguna. While it rests with you, you can transcend them. You can transcend all the three. Why not these two? You have got every free will to do that. But few are prepared to exercise that free will. That is why it is not possible. I have already told in one of my earlier lectures, a chap came to Buddha. Buddha was sitting in meditation along with his 10,000 monks. A chap came to him and told, Bhante is the method of ethics. Bhante, I have heard a lot of lectures from the best of saints, from the best of scholars. And I have read a lot of scriptures, the scriptures of Jainism, the scriptures of Hinduism, or all the scriptures available in the world. I have gone through all the Shastras, but no use. So I want you to teach me in absolute silence. I don't want words. Now I have begun to hate words because words have not taught me anything. Buddha just laughed. He sat down. He was looking at Buddha and both were smiling at each other for some time. And suddenly Buddha shut his eyes and went into samadhi. The other person, the newcomer, he also shut his eyes and went into samadhi. And after about an hour, the gong went up for meals. Everybody got up. This fellow never got up. Tears were streaming from his eyes. His face was glowing with a divine light. And his face showed he was fully satisfied. He was in the ultimate happiness. And Ananda, the most favorite disciple of Buddha, was looking at all these things. They went back for their lunch and came back, and this fellow was still. And by the evening he got up. He got up and prostrated before Lord Buddha and thanked him profusely for what he has got, and he walked off. Ananda was full of envy and jealousy. Oh, this newcomer, I don't know what happened, what transpired between the two. He went to Buddha and took him to task. Buddha, I have been with you for 30 years. You have not taken me anywhere near the stage to which this newcomer today was taken by you. What happened between you? Have I become deaf? There is an absolute silence between you two. But at the same time, I am sure you gave him a lot. And it's not a question of giving something. How did you give without our knowing it? And how is it that we could participate in it? It was something private between you two, even though she was sitting in public before you. Please enlighten me. Buddha laughed and he said, Devadatta was the original name, not Devadatta, the Ananda. You are a Kshatriya, you belong to the warrior race, and you have been dealing with horses. You know there are 4 types of horses. There is one type of horse, you go on whipping it, enable the whip may break, but the horse won't move. It will do hatha yoga, it won't move at all, do anything. The second type of horse is one, as long as you go on whipping it, it will move. The moment you stop whipping it, it will stop. And the third type of horse is, you just take the whip and crack, make a sound, At the cracking of the whip, it will begin to run. And the fourth type of heart is one, it won't wait for the whip to be taken and cracked. It will just watching. The moment it finds the shadow of the hand of the master moving towards the whip, it will begin to move. It will not wait till he takes the whip in his hand. Just it will see, just a gesture of the driver who is just to take his hand, about to take the whip, it begins to run. It doesn't need the whip to be taken even, not to speak of cracking or beating him. Well, that is the type of horse which came today, that newcomer. But I am sorry, Ananda, you belong to the fourth type. The 30 years of your being with me has not taken you to that stage. I am very sorry. So, these are the casual instruction. There is no instruction at all. Even that was sufficient for him. And on the contrary, ajivam api jigyasu paraha. Paraha means a man who is other than the one who has the preponderance of sattva guna. A man who has got a preponderance of either rajoguna or tamoguna. Paraha, the other person. What happens to him? Jigyasu. He is also a person who is desirous of attaining the ultimate knowledge. Jigyasu. Jigyasu means the one who wants to know, the one who desires to know. Jyatum ichha jigyasa. He wants to know. He may be a person, he must be a sadhaka, he will be an aspirant, full of desire to know the absolute. And ajivam api jigyasu. He will continue to be the aspirant for his entire life. Ajivam. Till death, he will continue to be an aspirant. He will never succeed. Tatra vimukhyati. He enters into a delusion and he will not be able to understand any teachings whatsoever. However profound the teachings may be, however intense the teachings may be, not to speak of a casual instruction, well, nothing will make a dent in his thick head. So it is because his mind has not been purified. The purification of the mind is a sine qua non, is an essential factor before one gets into the high state of spirituality. Ajivam vi jigyasu. See, there have been beautiful examples. There was the first cousin of Buddha, his name was Devadatta. From childhood, both were enemies. Both means it is not from the Buddha's side, from Devadatta's side, who considered Buddha as his own enemy. From childhood, he tried to wound him, he tried to insult him, and later on when he became a Buddha, when he was revered everywhere, he couldn't stand it. He thought somehow I should see that I eliminate him from this world. He tried his level best to get Buddha killed. He became a bhikkhu under the Buddha. From Buddha he took his monkhood. But he was waiting for an opportunity to kill him. Straight away. His envy went to that level. So one day when he was passing through, he had hired some fellows who were waiting in both the mountains. He was passing through a lane where on both sides there were mountains. And they rolled big rocks so that they would fall down on the head of Buddha and Buddha will be crushed. Nothing happened, Buddha escaped. So throughout his life he was trying, he was with Buddha. And he was hearing his instructions, he was hearing his daily lectures, but nothing happened. And the same thing, Vasishta Paramahamsa, he was having an attendant to look after him, his name was Uday, who was his own nephew. He tried to even teach him a lot, but nothing could teach him. Uday was always feeling, oh, this Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is a fool, he doesn't know how to take advantage. Oh, if only he wants, he can go to USA, make such a name, he can have dollars and dollars. This fellow is not prepared to take even pies from India, not what to speak of dollars. And this is the stage. He could never be taught. One day what happened was a big man came, he wanted to give something to Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna said, I want nothing. Not only Ramakrishna, even his mother was like that. You see, the owner of that temple, the son-in-law of the Rani, Mathur Sahib, he tried his level best to tell Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, "If you look here, you are now young. When you become old, who will look after you? So we require some money. Can I put some money in your name, some fixed deposit?" He said, "No, please. If you are going to do anything like that, I will run away without giving my address." Then he thought, let me try with his mother. His mother was there, Shakti Devi. He goes to her, "Mother, are you okay?" "Oh, perfectly okay." "Are you having all provisions for your food?" Or you think, "Oh, you have provided everything. Every month they come like clockwork. So I have got nothing." "Mother, please tell me any service that I can do for you, anything which you require. Please, please." He was again and again persisting. The mother should rack their mind. At last she said, "Yes, Mathur, if you can, just get me 2 pies worth of tobacco." It was overestimated. 2 pies worth of tobacco. That is what a hungry person can think of from such a rich man. So, it is not easy to learn because their intellect is being impure. It is not possible for them to grasp the benefits of that higher state where you leave everything to gain everything. But don't go with that contract. "Lord, I am leaving everything. Please hold to your side of the contract." No. You just leave and go. That's all. You will see that. Ajivamapi jigyasu. Ajivamapi, even though he works throughout his life, Varaha, the one whose mind is not purified, it is not full of Sattva-guna. Jigyasu, even though he remains a seeker, Jigyasu means a seeker. He may remain a seeker, Tatra Vimukhyati, in that matter of obtaining the higher knowledge, well, he gets deluded. Now we go to the next. Moksho Vishaya Vairatyam Bandho Vaishajiko Rasaka Yetavadeva Vijnanam Yethechasi Tatha Kuru. See, he puts it very simple. He tries us in so many ways, he tries to give us advice. You catch any one of the streams, you will reach the ultimate, that's all. He hands over the various sides of the stream. You just catch hold of it, you reach the ultimate, you reach the absolute. So here is a beautiful one. Moksho Vishaya Vairatyam. You want to get out of this bondage? We are having so many types of bondages. Every item is holding a bondage over you. I am so accustomed to coffee. So if one day I could get a coffee, well, I am gone completely. My mood changes and every second I am restless. Oh my Lord, I have not had my coffee, I have not had my coffee. There are people who get terrific headaches, migraine in the absence of a coffee. So a coffee can make you dance. So you are a slave to a coffee, not to speak of anything big. Similarly, you are a slave to money. You are a slave to fame. You want that some people should recognize you, should come and pat on your back and say, "Oh, you are excellent, you are very good." So, if only you want to get out of it, you want to be free, absolutely free. See, all these things will cause you miseries later. When somebody comes and praises you, somebody will be envious of you. So he will try his level best to pull you down. Such a person like Bhagavan Ramana, he has never harmed a fly and whose mind was full of goodwill for the entire universe and all the universes wherever they are. Even he had enemies, that is people who looked on him. They tried their level best, but see, nobody can do anything to Bhagavan. It was those people who themselves were put to a lot of trouble and finally they had to come and beg forgiveness from Bhagavan. And Bhagavan was so free with his forgiveness. And that man said, "I have done so much sin, I have sinned against you badly. and I will go only to hell. He said, don't worry, I will also be there to look after you. That was his compassion. Moksho Vishaya Vairasyam. Absolutely have distaste for all objects of knowledge. Let not any object of the world seduce you. Let not anything tempt you. Your music, your dance, your book, your fame, your little of your money. None of these things tempt you. Completely say, well, I have tasted everything. What is there? They may all give you some momentary pleasure. But ultimately all these things lead to miseries. One day or other they leave you, or I have to leave them. Well, my grandson gives me pleasure, but a day comes whether I leave my grandson and get out of this world, or perhaps he dies a premature death, then either way I am in misery. So what does it gain you? So long as you are attached to the objects of the world, the objects of this phenomenal world, all these objects of senses, you will be in trouble. So as such, you just develop a distaste for all these objects of the world. Be indifferent to them. You let things be there. It is not necessary you should begin to hate them. Again, don't go to the other extreme. Don't hate, but don't have any taste for them. You have absolutely got no taste. So, moksho vishaya vairasyam. Vairasyam. Rasa means to have a taste. So vairasya means to have a distaste. Vishaya means the objects of the world. So the moment you have a distaste for everything that belongs to the world, whether it be your son, whether it be your grandson, whether it be money, whether it be fame, whether it be friendship, so whether it be music, whether it be dance, absolutely be impervious to their efforts. Then, that is you are out of the bondage. That is what is called moksha. That is what is called liberation. Moksho vishaya vairasyam bandho vaishajiko rasa. So on the contrary, if you are caught in the taste of some of these things, you are tempted by food, you are tempted by delicacies, delicious items which are palatable to your tongue, or see any of these things, any of the items of the world, you are fascinated by your own wife, your own children, your own grandchildren, or by name and fame. Any of these things is enough to kill your aspiration for spirituality. We will not progress any further there. You take it 100%. There are people who think that they can travel with one foot on the world and the other foot extended towards the Lord. No, it's not possible. Yes, you remain in the world, but mentally you will have to dissociate yourself from everything that belongs to the world. You have to be impervious to the seductive temptations of the worldly objects. That is why beautiful examples have been given in Viksudamani by Shankara. He says, we have got 5 senses, and through them only we have knowledge of the various objects, and we get tempted. With the eyes you see the beauty of an object, the rupa, the form, and there is a type of a moth at night. It comes towards the light, it goes on circling it, and finally, if there is a dipa, as it is kept inside, a lamp, an oil lamp, it just immolates itself in the fire of the lamp. Thus it loses its life. Its attraction for form results in its losing of life. And it is told that deers, they have got a beautiful ear for music. So if somebody is able to play on a flute, a deer which is running fast, it will just stop in its tracks, and with its ear agog, it will be just hearing. It is easy to catch it. And there are classics in which such descriptions have been given where the ears have been caught. So the ears So these objects which are caught by your ears, they can prove fatal to us. Similarly, the third one is called the Meena, that is the fish. So the fish is so much after food items, so when somebody drops something there, it forgets that thorn and it just gets itself caught because of the small meat or some bread, whatever is kept there in the bait. So it goes and catches the bait and then it is cooked. That's all, it loses its life. Similarly is Matanga. Matanga means the elephant. The elephant, they used to catch it in the previous day, they used to keep on tame elephant. They used to prepare a big pit. In Kerala they used to do it in the olden days, I don't know now. So down below in the pit there used to be that tame elephant, there will be a she elephant. So a big elephant who is going, it will be attracted. It would like to touch this other elephant, sparsha. So it comes down, it just tries to embrace the other one and then it gets caught, it is unable to come up. So like that, they are given the examples how each one sense alone is capable of giving all the miseries of the world. And we are all possessed of all the five senses and use it all the time. Well, think of the miseries they can cause to us. That's what the Vedanta says. So, moksho vishaya vairasyam. So the day you are able to get out of the fascination of the seductive objects of the world, you take it, that itself is moksha. Nothing more is required automatically, everything else will take place. Bandho vaishiko rasaha. And the moment you get interested in the taste of the object of the world, it will form a bondage. Yetavadeva vijnanam. This is the highest knowledge, man. There is no more knowledge beyond it. You just take it, you follow it up. That's all. It takes us with the thatu. Now I have told you the highest knowledge. There is nothing beyond it. Whatever else people will say, you have it, you do this, you do that, do Advaitin Homa for 365 days in a year and all that. Well, none of them will take it. Unless you have this. This is the basic synchronon which whatever you may do rituals, you may do homas, you may do anything, but this is basic. Unless you are able to get out of this, you cannot reach that highest level of consciousness where you get that absolute bliss for which we are all seeking. So, yatechasi tathakur, yetavadeva, only this much alone. Yeva means alone, this much alone is the Vijnana. What is Vijnana? This is, I am not giving you a bookish knowledge. I am giving you a knowledge which I have learned through my own experience. It is an experiential knowledge. That is called the Vijnana. Yesterday I said, Vijnana means a Vishesha Jnana. All the other Jnana, all the other knowledge, you are gathering from the various texts, from the various scriptures, from the various books. But this is not a Jnana which is bookish. This is something which comes to you direct. This comes to you from the source. This comes to you from your own self, by your own experience, your anubhava, your experience. So, yetavadeva vijnanam. This I am telling on the basis of my own experience and the experience of all the saints in the world, which have all tallied. And this is that. Now, I leave it to you. You do as you want. Yatha ikshasi, as you want, tatha do like that. Your guru does not form a bondage. If your guru is going to tell you, you must do this, number one, we will become rebels. Naturally, if somebody forces to do something, our rebellious spirit will come up, say, why should I do it? I will not. From childhood, that is the thing. So if children are not interested in spirituality, if they don't accompany the temple, if they don't come and attend this thing, don't force them. Your own examples should be sufficient to make them get interested in all these things. You continue to do it yourselves, and automatically a day will come when they will also get interested. But the moment you try to force them, they will get a hatred against all these things. That is why even a guru doesn't want to become a bondage. So he gives them the freedom of choice. Well, look here,
I have told you the highest one. Either you believe in it and do it, or you don't believe in it, you don't bother about it. Either way, it is up to you. Yatechasi tatha kuru. The same thing finally Krishna tells Arjuna.